Transcendental Transformation, the place where spirituality and transformation unite. Host Miss Raina imparts truth so that you can break through your limiting beliefs and evolve into a deeper consciousness. As you go about your day, remember, before every breakthrough, there is a breakdown. And now, let's start the show.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Transcendental Transformation. I'm your host, Miss Raina, and today is Tuesday, April 28th, 2020. As always, we're coming live from the Stereo Star System studios right here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I hope all is well with everybody. Well, guys, I got to tell you, this week has been kind of all over the place. My mom had a little bit of a small procedure done in the hospital this past Tuesday, and yeah, she's doing well. Everything seems to be okay right now and everything. So we're just going to wish her a speedy recovery. But you know what? I got to be honest with you. My health has been improving, and it has been such a nice feeling because I know a lot of you guys are antsy because you guys are locked down in the house and everything. But you know what, when you're stuck in the house for several months at a time and you really can't do anything other than just sit at the couch that you're doing, yeah, it kind of gets to you a little bit. So recently I've been able to work several full days, sometimes a couple days in a row, and then I got to kind of lay down. But you know, this is a big step for me, and it may sound like it's not, but for me it is, because like I said, 3 months laying on the couch doing nothing compared to all of a sudden, hey, we're creating radio shows and doing all sorts of stuff now. Oh my God, it feels so good. It really does. And, you know, it's funny is that most of us complain about working, but you know, we never really, we take a lot of that simple stuff for granted. Like, you know, being able to stand up, walk around, just kind of go make food and everything. And when you're not feeling well enough to do any of that stuff, it kind of, you know, makes you miss the small stuff in life. So yeah, it's a good achievement. We're going to keep going and keep that energy going. This past Wednesday, I want to mention, I also had the honor to be a part of a PFLAG meeting for some of my groups. Two of my friends started a chapter up in Stewart, I believe, and they start holding PFLAG meetings. And what PFLAG meetings are meetings for parents that have children that are in the LGBT community, especially gender type of challenges in their lives and everything like that. And it's a really good group, really good. So if you're up in the upper West Palm Beach area or the Stewart area or Port St. Lucie area, and you guys are looking, make sure you check out PFLAG and you know, get hooked up. So all right, guys. Yeah, let's see what. Don't forget, we are live with Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. We are all over the place now. We are streaming live for everything, and yeah, we got to get out there. That's what we got to do. So if you guys can't tell, I am very excited because tonight we have such an amazing show. I can't say enough. We have such an amazing guest. I met her through my protege, Caleb. You know, when we met, Caleb actually came to me and said, you know what, Miss Raina, there's a lady that I want you to meet. I think she'd be good for the show. And I said, okay, well, bring her on. You know, let's talk. Let's see what she's about and everything. And there was just a spiritual connection there. And it is so hard to find those people that you just click and gel with and just have such an amazing energy with. And you know, and right from the start, we got along. And last Wednesday, I believe, I was a guest on her show, and you know, we just had so much fun. Her energy is, she's such a fun person. She's such high energy. She's an amazing light worker. And, you know, even as a small child, you know, Angel Marie has sort of been a beacon of light for people. She's always seemed to bring people together, making them laugh, making them smile. And she has immersed herself throughout her life, you know, to learn about energy, light, and healing. She has since become a Reiki master, a speaker, and an author of a national best-selling book book and creator of the Elite Reiki certification system and the Shine On movement. She's also been such an influential person in the Phoenix area for over 20 years. Some of her passions include, being more energized. So when you meet this lady, you are going to feel the energy. You're going to feel the funness. You're going to feel her energy just come out. And that's going to bring more joyful to a lot of people. She brings a lot of confidence to people. Even if you're not a confident person, just by talking to her, your confidence is raised. And she wants to help, have people have expression of freedom so that they can live their lives to the fullest. So please, without further ado, everybody, please help me welcome Angel Marie.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Me too.
And you put it there, we just went, whoo. And it's just a vibrational field that you see. And it can be through Zoom. It can be right through here. So I want to say hello to everyone out there. And thank you so much for being here. And wow, Miss Raina, bam, you kicked it last week on my show and helped with that beautiful meditation. Bam. So you just shined. You just shined.
Well, thank you. And so do you. And that's one of the things that as soon as I met you, your energy and your personality just came out, because there's so many people that, we talk about these ideas of energy and how to control it and how to move it through us, but there's very few of us that actually understand how to harness that energy to push our lives into the life that we actually want to achieve.
Absolutely. To run your vibration, to understand that you're just energy, vibration, and frequency, and how are you really running it? Can you feel if it's your energy or somebody else's energy? And right now, what's happening in the world, absolutely, we're feeling that heavy at times. I mean, I get waves sometimes. It's like a wave. And I have to lay down. I mean, literally just lay down in my office, and I just lay down and just breathe and go, I don't think this is my energy. No.
I agree there, because it is a lot right now. There's a lot of stress going out, especially with, and it doesn't, I don't want to get into whose views on the coronavirus, but, it's a lot of stress. There's people that do believe in it. There's people that don't. There's people that are, and we're just stressing about everything right now. Not working, if we're going to get supplies such as toilet paper, food. It's a crazy time.
Yes, it really is. And I don't like to always say crazy, because I don't want crazy energy around me. So I always because it's really the best way to describe it. So I always say this is an interesting time. I am privileged and honored to be still alive, to see the transformation that is happening within humanity. And it's not just the light workers, man, this is worldwide. The whole planet is shifting. It's very exciting. I know you might be, feel alone and, having some challenges at home, but this is exciting time to transformation in yourself.
It is. It really is. And I like the fact that you use the words interesting, because it kind of changes perspective. On the show here, we're always talking about perspective and words and how we use certain words, and those words form our perspective, because that's really our mindset. And, and a lot of times, I'll use the word crazy, but I actually don't mean crazy, because you and I understand that you have to disconnect from all that. You have that choice and that option, that even though the rest of the world is going through something, you still have that choice and that option to disconnect from whatever it is that you're perceiving at that moment. And and we do, and we look at it, and if we take that idea of transformation and we take that idea of perspective and we kind of put them together, they kind of go hand in hand, don't they?
They really do. They go hand in hand. What is your perception? Because when you perceive it, then are you going to allow it? Are you going to accept it? That's the key, because when we accept, what happens? We go, okay, let's just accept this right now. And then we come from our heart and go, okay, what is the action that we can take to change it? Or is we just going to sit, accept it for a minute and not freak out?
Well, we definitely don't want to freak out, right?
Yeah, because that can happen also. So I love perspective. It's actually the first chapter in my book because that one was on purpose. Everything else was channeled, but that one was on purpose because I really wanted to say, this is my perception of what this book is about. This is mine. So that doesn't mean it's, you have to take it on.
Correct. Absolutely. So, well, why don't you tell me about your book? Because, you know, I've seen you work through it I mean, I know you do nightly readings or morning readings with people, and then you do nightly interactions with other light workers, and sometimes you go through the book, and obviously it's a national bestseller. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. It's called Shine On because it's the Shine On movement. The Shine On, everything's about Shine On. My dog's name is even Shine, and she's on the cover. And I know it's 52 Secrets for Greater Success and Higher Self-Esteem. And it's a book that you don't really want to do on ebook. You want to get it, so you just pick one a day. You just pick one. You don't really read it, and you pick one, and it gives you the definition of like perspective, or honesty, or lack, or wellness, spirituality, and you just pick one, and then that way it gives you a couple of fun stories, and then it tells you speak, shine, speak, and it Shine speaks in it, my dog, and what she thinks of it. I had one lady call in, she was just laughing, and I thought she was crying actually, and I was like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm just laughing because I just read your whole book, only what Shine talks about. Okay, that's a way to read it. I guess.
Wow. So she read it front to cover, even though it's not meant to be read front to cover, or I mean, cover to back. So
just what Shine had to say in every chapter and every secret, just what Shine had to say. And she was laughing because she was like, I love it. I was like, okay. And then the other thing is it gives you a action step, every single, and they're very easy. And what I hear is the book it's a self-help, but it doesn't shame you, which I didn't really realize that, but I've gotten so many people that have said that they like it because they're able to write in it and they do the action step. And the action step is related to like when you put your tennis shoes on, you get ready to take a shower, you're in the shower, you walking out the door. So I related them to things that we do throughout the day because we know what to do, right? You know what to do.
Yes, we do.
We forget. And then we put stickies everywhere and we don't look at the stickies anymore.
You know, isn't that funny how a lot of times the mind will drown things out? I used to work at the casino at Foxwoods, and at first I was security, then I was a high stakes dealer. And when I first got there, I used to hear the change machines all the time, all night long. And by the first week, I was like, this job is going to drive me nuts. And then all of a sudden I realized that 3 weeks went by and I never heard it anymore. And it's just funny how that when we write ourselves, because I used to do that as well, put up stickers all over, and I still do, put up notes everywhere on certain cabinets by the mirrors and everything like that. But it's funny that sometimes that our mind will drown out these ideas in front of us and we kind of like dismiss it.
Absolutely. And it's very easily done. Yeah. So that's what the book's great, and it's 52. So I didn't even realize that I totally channeled that book, and just everything in it, the words, everything. Because some of the words I should have put in some other words.
Yeah.
But yet it was what it was, and I can just do a reading now. So you pick 1 through 52, and I think you picked 33.
I did.
Oh, I do remember that.
I did, and there's a reason why I picked 33 too.
Oh yeah, really? Because it was gratitude and appreciation. I remember that because I was like, wow, wasn't that channeled cool? 3-3, and it's gratitude and appreciation in my book. I didn't even realize that until you picked that number.
It's something that I think that a lot of times we overlook. We talk about gratitude in a way of we have to appreciate everything that we have. Like, yeah, a lot of my friends took gratitude training, and they're always like, "Oh, well, I appreciate my car. I appreciate my house. I appreciate all the things I have." And I'm like, well, that's really not what gratitude is supposed to. It's nice that you're appreciative of the stuff you have, yes, but gratitude goes much deeper than just the material world. It's a gratitude, it's the acceptance of self, right? It's the acceptance of the idea of all that we are, even, the things that we're embarrassed about, some of the things that maybe have happened to us, some of the things that we may take on as someone doing something to us. And we have to learn to be grateful for those interactions and those experiences in order for us to transform into the person that we need to.
That's a beautifully said, because I like to put it as the I am.
Yes.
And saying, I appreciate my eyes, my nose, my mouth, my teeth, and start here and then go in and say, I appreciate that was a teaching from someone that is not in my life anymore. And I don't know what happened, but I appreciate that interaction. Yes, that's a challenge for many.
Especially if we're angry, right? If we're angry or we're resentful for something, because we're usually angry and we're resentful because we don't understand the experience that we've had with something or someone. And we're not realizing that this person or this situation came in our lives to teach us to grow. And a lot of times I think we get caught up in that idea. And, I think that, and from the sounds of your book and from my interactions with it, it sounds really interesting because it kind of brings that level. I like the fact that you said it doesn't shame you, and I understood what you meant, because I had a lot of students as well say, Miss Raina, I read books and I'm kind of embarrassed because they talk about all these things and I feel like I'm doing all these things that they tell me not to do, and then I kind of slap my head and be like, it's kind of like this weird spiral.
And it is, and people don't like and do not want to be told what to do. I mean, I say that in meditation. I don't listen to other people's meditation. I mean, they're beautiful, and some of them I can, but for a long period of time, it's like wah, wah, wah after a while for me. So I record my own meditation and I listen to my own voice. Now that I can listen to again and again, and I change it. But there's certain, like yours was very, oh man, I like your tone. You have a very good tone.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
That the vibrational field of the current of your energy, it resonates with me. And that's the thing. You resonate or you don't resonate. Yes. And that's life.
I agree 100%. But, I like that because I'm the same way with you. And I think that's very important for you to say something, because a lot of times we're always searching out for these meditations. And I'm sure that's what you get a lot. I'm sure you get a lot of questions, Angel, like, what kind of meditations do I need to do in order for me to achieve this? And I think it's important for them to realize, well, it's not a race. You're not, it's not like going to school where you go through the first grade, then the second grade, and each grade you get to graduate. It's not like that. But I think what you said is that you have to resonate with what it is that you're actually doing and the people or the meditation that you're doing. And I think that's very important.
Excellent. Yes, because it shifts your vibrational field. Everything is quantum physics. I mean, we can call it Reiki, we could call it whatever, but really what it is does it meet your vibration? It's not negative or positive.
No. And I agree really with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. And I love to agree to disagree with you.
Yes, that's always fun, right?
Yes,
but you should be able to, because one of the things that I enjoy to do is have discussions with people, and I think discussions are very educational to the soul, because I don't want to have friends and people around me that always agree with me, because then there's no other perspective I can gain. Because if everyone around me is saying yes, Miss Raina, or if I'm saying to them, yes, Angel, all the time, well, then it's the same perspective all the time. But but for us to open up a dialogue and say, well, this is my perspective and that's your perspective, and see each other's perspective, to me, that's very enticing.
It is. And I think it becomes, you're both vulnerable to be able to share.
Yes. I think that's important. I think that is very important as well. But all right, Angel, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back after these messages.
A message from the life of Raina. We live in a world faced with many tough challenges. Our lives become chaotic and filled with disaster ever so quickly, most of the time before we even realize. Our issues beat down our mental mindset, and an imbalance of emotions become prevalent. The life of Raina is dedicated to helping people on the deepest spiritual level. Miss Raina, the creator of Transcendental Development and Growth, works on your core issues and finds the solutions which allow you to break free from the emotional bondages of life, helping you achieve the life you've always wanted to live. Isn't it time that you lived life for you? Call the Life of Raina, 561-846-2190, and schedule your appointment today. That's 561-846-2190. Or email thelifeofraina@icloud.com.
All right, everybody, we are back. And if you're just joining us, I am Miss Raina for Transcendental Transformation. And we have a very special guest, Angel Marie. And just before the break, we were talking about an amazing book. And I thought it would be super awesome if she shares a little bit about the book. So Angel, can you share with us maybe a little piece of the book so that we can have a little happiness in us?
Sure. And I'm going to pick happiness, just like you just said. Happiness, yeah. Secret number 23, happiness. This is my quote. And they took a long time, just so you know. Being diagnosed and not diagnosed, I have dyslexia. I don't want to own it. I don't own anything. But having dyslexia, this was my biggest and amazing accomplishment that I've done in my life. So it's happiness. Here's the quote. Happiness is feeling like you are on vacation all the time. Think about that right now. Be on vacation right now in your mind. Yeah. Look at Miss Raina. She's like smiling. Yeah, because when your mind doesn't know, right? It doesn't know if you're really doing it or not. And it can only do one thing at a time. So that's really exciting. So the happiness is here. It gives you a description, gives you a couple of really fun stories. And then the big one I'd like to read is the action step, because the action step in everyone, it always starts out with breathe. So everybody, diaphragmatic breathing in through your nose, belly comes out, and then breathe out. Yay. Every day in the shower, sing, I am happy, I share happy, happy feels great, I love happy. Sing it, write it, and say it out loud, and breathe again. That's happiness. So if you can remember every time you get in the shower saying, I feel happy, I feel great, I am in that beauty, and I share happy, I feel happy, I am happy, just make it up. But what are you doing? You're vibrating on a different vibrational field. And what happens? It's quantum physics. What you put out is going to come back. So watch how the next day or that morning, all of a sudden people come at you and you're like, wow, they're in a good mood. Wow, they're in a good mood. You created that.
I couldn't agree more. Isn't life nothing more than a reflection of how we internally feel?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I like that. One of the things you said, and I really like that you said was, I have dyslexia, but I don't own it. And what's nice about that is a lot of times we take these, because I'm dyslexic too. And when I was in school, people thought I was stupid because I had a hard time reading and I had a hard time comprehending and taking tests. But it was the exact opposite. I just didn't learn the way, school taught me. But for a while though, it used to beat on me because I always felt like I was behind everything. And I don't know if you went through something similar too, but then I realized that, well, dyslexia, I have to learn to use it in a way that's beneficial to me, that I can understand myself and I can understand my way of learning, and that aids me in where I need to go from there on out.
That must be the vibration, girlfriend, because that's, yes. And it's being put down. I mean, a teacher even told my mom she'll never make it through high school or make it through college. And this is in 3rd grade. She told her that right in front of me. And I didn't know. I was, yeah.
Wow.
But back then they just thought we were stupid. They didn't know.
Yeah.
They really didn't know. But yet I was such a good athlete. And really, my mom turned around and she didn't even say anything to the teacher. And I'll never forget it. And she turned around to me and she looked down at me and she said to me, "Baby, you're special. Yeah. Don't you listen to her." And she got me out of there. And of course, testing. But do you know who else is dyslexic, who I love and quote all the time, is Einstein.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
And what I love what he said was, energy never dissolves.
No, it doesn't.
It merely changes forms.
Yes.
So when you have anything going on in your life, you can shift the form of it.
Yes.
And that is quantum physics. That's not Reiki. That's not woo-woo. That is the 7 laws of the universe.
Yes.
So, I mean, for me, it gets me excited because being diagnosed with lupus, fibromyalgia, arthritis, Sjogren's, and dropping a microwave on my foot 30 years ago, and they say, you are not supposed to be even walking, putting a shoe on. And you see me dancing.
Yes, I do. You love to dance. You're always up on those feet.
And the thing is you change the form.
Yes.
Now, yes, it does take practice. It is an internal, yes. But I'm genius at helping people to do it.
But I think that's amazing. I think that's part of your story. Is a lot of times I think we always think that especially when we're going through spirituality and we're going through these ideas, we always think that we're trying to reach a goal, but it's really we're creating a story. It's not that we're trying to reach this goal and be done with it. Let's hurry up and get through life as fast as possible, and then I can become enlightened. It's really, what is your story and how did you use it? And I think that's what makes you so inspiring and such a wonderful person, and that's the energy you bring, because if you're dyslexic, you have lupus, you dropped a microwave on your foot, you have all these challenges, and I'm sure there's many more, but you have all these challenges in front of you, and you took it and you transformed that energy into something that you can use to spread in the world, to say, hey, this is how easy and it is if we just shift our perspective.
And it's right. Shift the perspective, right? Every single time. Thank you for saying that I'm a good human.
Oh, you are. I wouldn't have you on the show if I didn't think so.
Thank you, Miss Raina.
So you came up with this with Lightworkers Unite for Healing, and you're creating all this content. I mean, I've even been a part of it. I see it on your social media all the time. For the listeners that don't know what it is, can you tell us all about it?
Well, what it is I wanted to bring the light workers together. And if you're on the line, you're a light worker. It's a made up word.
It is.
And many people say lighthouse, light player, light that. Anyway, you come from the light, meaning you care about society, you care about humanity, the animals, the nature, and you most of all care about yourself, and you're doing that self-care. So you're a light worker. So light workers unite for healing. And why I woke up the day after this all came out, and I was getting messages. Now, I don't see or hear necessarily, I just have this idea. And I came in here into my office and I was like, someone needs to bring all the light workers throughout the whole world, everyone, to just what's going on with light workers, bring them together. Someone needs to do that. And it was like this thing, and I know you believe me, Miss Raina, it hit me in the head, and I went back, and I was like, oh, I'm supposed to do that. And I'm like, well, that makes sense, because I'm connected a lot on Facebook,
Yes.
So I'm supposed to do it. And it was like, I get this because I get certain sensations through my body that I know, as you know. And I was like, oh, so that's really how it started. And I called 3 people and said, hey, what do you think about this idea? And I just started it, and everything, of course, you know how that goes, when it's spirit driven, God driven, universe driven, everything falls into place. And that's what
Absolutely.
happened.
Well, that's amazing because a lot of us really, and you know what, and I think that's what's so refreshing about what I met in you because, like I was telling you after the show we did on Wednesday, that a lot of times I feel, especially down here in South Florida, I feel like everyone's in competition with each other, and there's no unity. There doesn't seem to be. Everybody's trying to be the light worker or the healer, and everybody seems like they're out for the money and trying to make a huge name for themselves, and that's great and wonderful. There's absolutely no judgment on my part from there, but really, when as light workers, it's a community, and in order for us to gain strength, in order for us to gain our knowledge, in order for us to gain, we have to be able to pull in as one and become a unity or a unification in that sense, because that allows us to be able to reach more people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's our time right now, I really feel, because nobody wants to go to the hospital.
No. I don't go to the hospital unless I'm wheel carted there, which was last month. Even my friends, as my heart's beating out my chest, they were like, oh, let's go to the hospital. I'm like, no.
You're like, no. So I've always said that over all these 20, 30 years I've been doing this, is it's time for us to step into our true healing. And it doesn't mean that you have to do any modalities like Reiki or anything. Just being kind is being a light worker. Just being of service wherever you can is being a light worker. And that's why I started Light Workers Unite, and meeting people in Italy and Spain, and talking to somebody today in Switzerland, and being able to meet amazing new friends that I can't wait to go to Florida, because I know I got a place to stay.
That's right.
And I'm going to be kicking it,
just as long as you don't make me dance the whole time.
No. And out of 24 days consecutive I've been doing it, I only had 2 people that have gotten up and actually danced. And that's okay, because a lot of times you don't have room to dance.
I would have, but I didn't know where my heart was at the minute. And so I'm like, I even told Caleb, I was like, she's going to make me want to get up and dance. And I told him, I said I would. I go, I just don't want to cause. So I just try to do what I can and share that energy.
You did great.
But it's so fun. It really was. It was such a fun experience. And I watched many of the other shows as well. And I find that, it gets people, even some of the light workers who are a little bit more reserved, it gets people out of their shell a little bit.
Now, my song is based on Katy Perry because I love to dance. The words are very profound words for the movement of the Shine On movement, about smile and laugh. Always give back, ask for what you want. I mean, if you're sitting there and you're not getting it, did you ask? Well, then keep asking.
Well, let's talk about that, because, I think that's a very important idea to talk about. Ask for what you want. That's such a powerful statement, because honestly, most of us really don't know what we want. We're chasing relationships, we're chasing jobs, because we have all these social conditionings in our mind that tell us, that by a certain age, you're supposed to be married and have children, have the white picket fence, you're supposed to have the cars, the solid job, you're supposed to be all stable. And stability doesn't bring us what we really want. We think that it's going to bring us a form of duality. It's going to bring us a form of connection to self. But really, we're chasing all these ideas outside of ourselves. And I think after a while, we kind of get lost in what we want. And I think that's where the turbulence is, because our soul is like, hey, we have all this stuff and we have this life. And yes, we're happy in some areas, but just something isn't right going on.
I mean, it's so true. And then when we look back and what we talked about before about perspective, where's everyone's perspective? Are you listening to your family and your friends, society? Are you coming from here? And I see this very clearly in the millennials. The millennials, they don't want to take anybody's stuff. they're going to do it their own way. And which I appreciate. But I also, because I have quite a few millennials in my life that come over and they help me and we do things, but I have to be really kind of stern on them because they want it their way. And it's okay because I appreciate that because I have boundaries.
Yes.
And they're in place so that I can really put those out and say, no, this is the way it's going to be because you're in my house.
Yes.
I mean, otherwise we work on those. But
I wish Caleb could hear this right now because that would be...
Because he's a millennial?
Yes. Boundaries are really healthy.
They're very healthy on both ends.
Yes.
And I just had that yesterday. That's a friend of mine came over and did the Tai Chi with me. And then she's like, yeah, I'll leave about 5. And this was like almost 4. And I said, no, you're going to leave about 4. Because she never even asked. And I was like, no, you're going to leave about 4 because I have to get ready for my show. Yeah, but it's at 6. I'm like, yeah, but there's things that I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yet they're arguing. And I'm like, no, this is my boundary.
Yes.
And I said, you can stay outside in the patio because I have to do some things.
Yes.
I mean, and it surprised her. But that's when you step into your power. Your true power is when you have those boundaries and you stand up for those and you do what you want. And I always say, and that's one of my quotes, is when you do what you want, how you want, and where you want, that's true success.
Yes, I couldn't agree more because boundaries are so important. I mean, and obviously because there's a lot of people that when we become emotional, our boundaries kind of fall to the ground because it's almost like kind of drowning. I was a lifeguard. I was a swimmer and everything. And in lifeguarding, they teach you, and I've actually saved someone once, and when they're drowning, they grab at anything and everything. They don't care about anyone's safety. They don't care about what's going on in the world. All they want is to survive. And it's almost the same idea, the same mechanisms that's going on in the brain when someone is emotional. And a lot of times they don't realize that they're overstepping the boundaries or they're trying to take from us because, they're emotional and they're trying to gain whatever it is. And so the strength of our boundaries sometimes may come across as a rejection, but it's really not a rejection. It's just saying, hey, this is where my energy has to be at. And as much as I like you, as much as I respect you and stuff like that, there has to be some control on my sense.
Fabulous. Yes. And that is when we go to flight or flight, because that's what we're hardwired, that chemical comes out and dopamine and all those things.
Yeah. Cortisol.
And it's all emotional, but it's from here.
Yeah.
And we all know that there's more peptides, neural nets, neural pathways in our heart than in our brain. But yet, where do we go most of the time?
Yeah, we always go up here. And that's what I tell people. People like, how, if you're in fight or flight mode, how can you figure out what it is you want? You can't. If our survival instinct is kicking in and we're living in that almost every day because we're stressed out because maybe we have work we don't like, or the boss or a worker that we don't like, or we're unhappy in a marriage or a relationship, or whatever the stressors are in our life. When we're in that mode, it is impossible because the frontal cortex of the brain, which is thinking, shuts down, and we're in that mode. And I always say, okay, if you're walking down the street and I jump out of the bushes with a mask and I pretend like I'm coming after you and you take off running, and then I stop you and say, okay, tell me what you saw during that time. What was this? What color awning was this? What color cars were here? You would never be able to tell because your fight or flight doesn't care about the details of everything. It just wants safety. And that's what most of us are operating in. So how can we get what we want or what we're asking for? How can we develop boundaries? How can we develop gratitude if we're in this type of stress?
Wonderfully said. Yes. And it's taking the time and it's taking the time to be able to breathe and to recognize where we're at. As the due perspective. And that's what I call it, the shine on shake. Because when you're in this craziness, do the shine on shake. It's just a joke, but you'll remember it now.
Right?
And it shifts because it's a pattern interrupt. You've got to interrupt the pattern because you're like in this.
And I bet you do that in public too, right?
Oh, I do.
I could see that. I could really see that. People are probably looking at you like, what's going on with that lady? And you're having fun, shaking. And
I'm shaking, and a lot of times I start to clap. But I'll tell you a trick. I hug everyone, but right now it's a little challenging, but I will hug everyone. And then when I go back, what do? I start to clap, and I'm like, oh, it's so great to see you. And what am I doing? Releasing their vibrational field from me and clearing my energy. So if you ever feel that, and you don't always have to hug, you can just be in someone's energy, which is usually about 5 feet, and just clap it out or clap out the energy.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. It sends that vibration to change. So I like that. So we are going to take another break, Angel. And then when we come back, we're going to talk more about you being the shine on girl. So, all right, everybody, we will be right back after these messages.
This is awesome. You would like a Reiki session where you get to step into understanding and feeling your vibrational field. And I'm thrilled that I'm going to be able to guide you and help you in you stepping into more of a self-care. So thank you so much.
All right, everybody, we are back. If you're just joining us, I'm your host, Miss Raina, for Transcendental Transformation, and we have a very fabulous guest, Angel Marie. And Angel, right before we took a break, we were talking a little bit about shine on and you being the shine on girl. So go into that just a little bit more for us, please.
Sure. I go out and about, and people will go, oh, you're that shine thing. And I just start to laugh, because I've been known for this for over 20 years. When I had my wellness, my metaphysical center, and this center was way before its time, because we used to get hate mail, the things that used to happen at that place, because people didn't understand energy. They didn't understand any of this. And I used to always say, go shine your light now. You go shine your light. And then it moved into shine on. Wish I wouldn't have patented it way back then, but it didn't. And so I've been known for that. And then having the shine on movement. And this shine on movement is about raising your vibration in such a positive way that it ripples out and impacts the whole world. And isn't that what we're all talking about with even quantum physics? So the shine has been around, but then also I'm very known for, I teach Reiki and understanding universal life force energy. We could call it Reiki, we can call it XYZ, but you can choose to shine at any moment because you're vibration. So that's how I have to, and just how I am in being up and teaching people how to shine their light.
Absolutely. And that's so needed, Angel, because a lot of us, we go, I don't know how people are in Arizona, but it seems like everybody seems to be a little edgy and grumpy all the time, and not just with the coronavirus going on, but even beforehand. And I think that we kind of are disconnected. We kind of lose the idea of who we are in that energetic form. And I love the fact that you do Reiki, and and it is true, whether it's called Reiki, touch healing, light therapy, whatever it is, it's still that vibrational energy, maybe at different frequencies, but it's still that. And I think that since we are energy and we resonate, so how about this? How about let's have a little fun? Can you give us a little tip for somebody that maybe wants to for Reiki, or for maybe going through a tough time right now?
Oh, absolutely. And these are like my favorite ones. One is the clap one, because you move your vibrational field, and the shine on shake, because it's a pattern interrupt. Remember that one. Please write that down, because that will really help you when you're out and about. The other one is creating your tone for the day, and that's your morning routine. Are you one that gets up and goes, grabs the coffee and starts to drink the coffee? Or maybe the orange juice, or just gets up and grabs your phone and lays in bed and starts playing on your phone? One, that light, that energy does not see you whatsoever. You really shouldn't even have the phone in the room at all.
Yeah.
My friends will say, Angel, I can't get a hold of you. I'm like, no, I'm going to be the one that's going to be rested. I'll make it wherever you're going to go. But you know what? You guys will be okay.
Yes.
I'm not going to have that phone in the room with me. So that's one thing. But the other thing is, as soon as you get up in the morning, drinking that now I'm getting 10 ounces to 15 ounces of water.
Wow.
Which it used to be 6 to 8. And now I'm getting 10 to 15 because of the field of vibration in the world right now. And I really encourage you to do warm water, because that warm water really flushes the system, and some lemon. If that serves you, go ahead and do that. And then sit for a few minutes on the floor. Don't go back to bed. Don't go in the bed, because that's for sleeping. Bed is not the place to meditate. That's an angelism. But be on the floor. It's uncomfortable, or in a chair in a certain area, and start doing your breathing. And that's the belly breathing, the diaphragmatic breathing that came out like in the 1970s from Harvard Medical Institute from Dr. Benson. And it really, really will shift your perspective, and it will absolutely, and it sets the tone for the day.
It does.
And I think that's
no, that's amazing. It really is, because the phone really does distract us. It creates this energy. And I mean, there's even been tests done where if you hold the phone and that it just shows how quickly it changes, or if it's near you, how it changes your vibration, because it emits radiation. And so that does change and plus now with the 5G coming along, that's even more powerful. It's going to affect us in so many ways, but we're so glued to our phone. We think that we're actually doing a show this week, we did a show this past week where we did social media, and one of the things I was talking about is the phone and how we're glued onto that. And that really is true about how you want to, how you're setting the tone for the day, because right away you think that, oh, I got to do these certain things, and already you're sharing scattered energy with you. And I like the fact of what you said about drinking the warm water. I do that every morning. I drink warm lemon water with a teaspoon of baking soda. It helps with any acidic forms in stomach. I sometimes have indigestion, so it settles that for the day. But plus it just alkalizes everything. Then I can go into a meditation, and it just kind of it creates the tone.
Oh, the baking soda. Thank you. That's a new one. I love it. That's awesome. And one of the other ones right now, since you're home a lot right now, is and Mayo Clinic came out with this. Every 45 minutes, you sit for 45 minutes and you're up for 15. So because we're sitting watching Netflix for too long, we're in front of the computer, and that vibrational field from the computer, like we just said, all that energy, that 5G, 4G, whatever it is really hitting you. So put a timer on your phone, 45 minutes, it will go off, and you will be amazed. You'll look and go, what did I just finish? Oh, I've been playing on Facebook for 45 minutes. Well, what do we really want to do here? And then go ahead and get up and stand for 15 and put the timer on. And your day will really go a lot better.
What you mentioned belly breathing. What is the importance of belly breathing in general?
The importance is when we do the belly out and we use the diaphragm, we're helping our gut, we're helping all of the muscles around. And that's the big thing is that we are gut weak because we sit too much. And it helps us in our energy and our vibration to clear it, because it's coming on a diaphragmic way.
I like that. I really do. It's one, a lot of times I suffered from anxiety and depression for many years, and PTSD and panic attacks. And one of the things that used to help me above all was breathing. And I never used to breathe, because when you go into a panic attack or anxiety, which a lot of us are now suffering from, we forget to breathe. And we're holding our breath for seconds, and then we exhale, and then we hold it again, and it kind of sends our body into shock. And I was never much into breathing. I used to have girlfriends of mine that were all about the breath work and everything, and I never really got into it until I really understood the importance of it.
It'll save your life. It will absolutely save your life. And I've gone through panic attacks also. And when someone comes in to see me for coaching, I can immediately know, because they'll say, take a deep breath, and they'll go, I'm like, they're shallow breathers. What's going on in your life? Oh, I can't seem to get a handle on it. Well, you're not breathing in life. You're not breathing in you. What's going on with you? Oh, no, I'm fine. Oh.
Yes. Breath is our first, well, breath is our first form of chi. I mean, we can always survive a little bit without food and water, but you can't go more than a minute without breath. And so that's our first form of chi that enters the body. And so, yes, I mean, if we want to call it the breath of life, absolutely.
It absolutely, and you know that we breathe 20,000 times a day, and your body, you don't even have to pay attention to it. It just does it. And all I'm asking for you to do is to take a belly breath every hour on the hour. So if you see it's noon, whatever it is, I would like you to take 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and take 3 big, deep breaths and make the belly come out and then go in and do a belly breath.
So I noticed that you have so much energy, especially in the morning. I've never been a morning person. I'm a night owl. I could stay up all night and have that same energy that you have in the morning. And I know a lot of people, you know, and I usually send people because I'm like, look, I'm not the morning person. And you always have this energy, this morning energy. How do you get that?
I get asked that a lot, and I even asked my mama one time, and she says, "Baby, you've always been energetic. You always have." The doctors tell me that my metabolism goes as fast as a triathlete.
Wow.
I have to eat every 3 hours, and it doesn't matter if it's big or small. Doesn't matter. Every 3 hours. So it could be met. I'm not really sure, but I can't really, it's an inspiration that comes from within, but I look at life differently. Perception. I look at life as not a journey. I do not look at life as ever hard. I look at it as an adventure. And I always have, because really, you know, I'm really inviting everyone to really look at your life. And is anything just always the same? Never. Never, ever, ever. And we will never, ever be the same now. With this whole thing that's happening, we will never be the same, and the world will never be. And all the transitions that are coming, that's exciting to me. And excitement can be also nervous too. You don't know that it's the same emotion or that vibrational field. But I really want you to step into, how do I do this? I choose from my heart. And I have some days it's choosing right here, because I admit I've looked at my bank account before. I've looked at my refrigerator. I've gotten in those places of, oh, do I need to go buy soup? That Roman stuff. Do I need to go and buy that? Because what's going to happen? I've been there. But then when I came here, I said, oh, this is an adventure. I'll call somebody and see if they'll buy me a cooked chicken. And then I'll have a cooked chicken. And I'll get on the phone and I'll just call somebody and say, hey, can you bring me a chicken? And they always bring me a chicken. Or if they can't do it, I'll call somebody else.
You know, I'm going to try that. I'm going to call my neighbors and say, hey, does anyone have a chicken?
Hey, you go to the store, pick me up a cooked chicken.
Absolutely. And but I think that's important, because you're not afraid to ask for help, and there's nothing wrong, because every single one of us has been in a moment of need and crisis. I mean, that's life. If you haven't been in a moment, I don't know what's going on in your life, but there's not a person that I don't know that hasn't had some sort of struggle. And the act of asking for help is openness. It really is creating that openness. And I think that's what you're meaning by you're open, and you're just, you know, going out and you're allowing yourself to be open, which is creating that perspective of adventure for you.
I think it's really exciting for me to say, hey, Miss Raina, can you do this for me? Will you do this for me? Because I'm allowing you to feel good about you to be able to help someone else. And yes. I really believe you take that from people. And then you say, well, Angel, you asked too much, or maybe I feel like I asked too much. No. They have the option to say no.
Yes, I agree. You know, when I was younger, I know we only got a few minutes left here, but when I was younger, I always did everything for myself, and I had the hardest time. Like, I would help everybody, I'd be there for everybody, but I was never I would always be like, no, I don't need help. And people were offended by that. And I could never understand why they were offended, because in my perspective, I was like, no, I mean, I'm helping them, but I didn't realize realized what I was stopping from them. I was stopping them from feeling the same experience that I was feeling of sharing love, sharing compassion, sharing kindness with each other, because friends and people there are there want to share that with each other.
And that also moves your vibrational field. And I tell people that because people will call and they say, hey, I don't have any money, or I don't have that. I'm like, let's not talk about that. What do you need right now? What can I help you with? How can I serve you? And they're like, well, and then at the end I'll say, okay, there has to be an energetic something. So let's come up with that. And this one lady brought me toilet paper, paper towels, gloves, chicken. She really did.
I love that chicken. I do.
She brought me 2 chickens.
I love that chicken. At least I know what to get you.
Yeah. Or
I'm
cans of olives.
I'm going to send you a live chicken in the mail.
Yeah. And you know, that's what we did. And then she'll owe money but yet, you know what? There's always a way, but you ask for it. Don't stop asking, because you really do matter. Everybody matters because we have that field of energy that's going out to the oneness.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So we just got a couple minutes here. So we know that everyone's going through a tough time right now. Do you have any last minute advice for people that are really struggling with what's going on right now?
The biggest one is, we could tell you just to breathe, but it's not going to help because you're in it. And I get that. Do a pattern interrupt, shine on shake, go outside, put the music on, look at pictures, old pictures, call somebody that will only talk positive to you. There has to be, look on YouTube and YouTube is a great one to just watch funny stuff. Don't get too heavy. Really shift it, keep shifting. And I always say, be aware of what's going on in the world. Be aware of everything, yes. Be responsible, but then also take the action. Mindset, heart set, gut set. Change your mindset, energize your life, and shine on.
I like that. That is spoken perfectly. Absolutely. And I've been doing that too. I've been on YouTube watching a lot of funny stuff because, it doesn't stop reality from happening, but it kind of gives it a break. It's like, yes, I know there's stressful stuff on there, but there's still a lot of happiness in the world, and we just don't have to focus on the chaos all the time.
No, you really don't.
All right, Angel. So, all right, do you want to give out any information for people? How can people get a hold of you, websites, anything like that?
Sure. Go to lightworkersgifts.com. Yay. That would be helpful. And then also, if you want to go to angelmarieshines.com, and that's more of my master speaker, and I go in and speak and do speaking at different organizations to help change their mindset, energize their life, and shine on. That's completely different than the other, lightworkersgifts.com. And if you would like, just come on to Lightworkers Gifts Angel Marie page, and that's where you'll see Miss Raina last week in the Lightworkers Unite, and then also the daily dose is very helpful to maybe start your day and get you some inspiration going, especially if you're stuck at home. And then I do Tai Chi every day for 20 minutes, Monday and Tuesday. Spirit has told me I have to take Monday and Tuesday off from now on.
Oh, nice. Good.
I know,
good.
And I'm listening.
You need a break. You've been going since I've met you, and I see all the shows that you do. I'm like, girl, you're gonna burn yourself out. I mean,
I so enjoy it. I really, know. I don't have scripts. It's off the cuff,
but we do need to take care of ourselves.
Yes, and it is about self-care. So it's all about self-care. So please find me on any of those. Message me. I'm here to serve you. And what I say to my students, to my clients, to you, I promise that I will support you. Just you commit to yourself to make the changes and do the activities, and you will shine on.
Absolutely. I love it. Well, Angel, thank you so much for being such an amazing guest. I truly am honored and truly enjoyed tonight's show. And I know our listeners probably enjoyed you as much as I have. So thank you so much for being on our show.
You're welcome. I am in grateful gratitude and honored. Thank you, everyone.
All right, guys. So as always, follow us on our Facebook at Transcendental Transformation. Check out our YouTube channel at the same thing. Check out my website, soulandspiritguide.com. Make sure you sign up for the VIP for the hidden shows, special access for people like maybe Angel will send a little special gift or something to people, or have some type of discount or something. But you got to sign up for Soul and Spirit Guide and her website as well. Don't forget, if you have any questions, email me at transcendentaltransformations, that's plural, @gmail.com. And always remember to believe in yourself. And it's not our abilities or our talents that make us who we are, but it is our choices. Thank you and have a wonderful day.